Please return to your seats. Class is now in session at usaprepares.com. Interact now by emailing instructor@usaprepares.com or text 417-200-4715. And now, Vincent Finelli and Mark Wright.
And this is Mark Wright, and I'm here with the original survival economist, Vincent Finelli, and we're speaking to John Moore. Now, John was at the Get Prepared Expo back in the spring, and I tell you what, it was a fascinating speech. People were captivated by what he had to say.
Mark, you're smiling. It was so much fun, wasn't it?
It was great, and John did very well. I know he had his DVD series there that he sold a lot of. I saw people lining up for his DVD series, and so I'm sure people out there want to know how they could potentially get a hold of his DVD series.
Well, that's really easy. They just go to usaprepares.com. That's usaprepares.com, and there's a link right to John Moore's website, and it'll take him right to his website, and they may purchase the DVDs.
Hey, John, you going to come to the Fall Get Prepared Expo
Absolutely.
September 9th and 10th?
I would not miss it for anything.
Well, good. I think you're going to...
In fact, I'm missing my 45-year high school reunion. Come there, gentlemen.
Are you serious?
Wow.
Oh, yeah.
Well, what kind of response did you receive? What were you anticipating when you came into the Get Prepared Expo?
Well, it was pretty much an unknown quantity for all of us, you gentlemen, myself. I try not to have too high expectations and just look at it as it'll be a good experience, it'll be fun, and whoever is supposed to be there will be there. And with that in mind, I thoroughly enjoyed myself and met a lot of good people and a lot of networking opportunities. Got to see hands-on the Missouri Shelter people, for example, and other vendors that in one place at one time. It's highly unusual to be able to walk down some aisles and see it in one location at the same time. All these various and sundry people offering goods and services that you would never see at one place one time otherwise.
That's true. John, why don't you relay to our audience right now what you spoke about at the Spring Expo about your research in regards to the United States Navy and their scientists?
Well, people need to understand, first of all, that my professional training, both in U.S. Army intelligence and in college, is to be a researcher. I was an intelligence analyst in the military, and I'm a paralegal in the private sector, and, of course, a homicide detective most of my adult life. So I approach research projects with that background in mind, and I began my research in 2000, the spring of 2000, and it continues to this day. In the summer of 2005, it took off dramatically when I came to realize, having lunch with a friend of mine who's a Navy submarine veteran, that he attended a classified briefing put on by the U.S. Navy about violent climate change and violently rising ocean levels. Not something incremental, but something coming up over a period of about 30 days, 400 feet on the East Coast, the West Coast, and the Gulf Coast. With that beginning point, I used my skills to locate and debrief, and since then, in the past 5 years, 5.5 years, about 24 of these Navy veterans, retired Navy veterans, who all attended the classified briefings, saw the classified map of North America with new shorelines, and when it came time to retire, without exception, each one of them moved to the Arkansas, Missouri Ozarks based on the information they received at these classified briefings, being told, gentlemen, these events will happen in your lifetime, not in your children's, not in your grandchildren's. These events will happen in your lifetime, and one of the known safe havens is the Arkansas, Missouri Ozarks. So there's lots of other rabbit trails on this, gentleman, that I've gone down and pursued to put all the pieces together. My DVD, Global Warming, What the Government Isn't Telling You, I put it together just like I was doing trial preparation for a homicide. I bring the evidence to the table. The people watching the DVD, they are the jury. And I've had people literally do this, take off work for a week to verify independently that what I say on my DVD is accurate and scientifically correct. And they get back with me and they say, John, we checked it out. Everything what you say is true. Of course, it is true, and it is verifiable. So,
John, let me just interrupt for a second, if I
please.
may. You know, since we had the expo, I have gotten a number of calls, and these calls go into 1 o'clock in the morning, 2 o'clock in the morning, and so forth. People from the East Coast are calling me because they've seen you, they've seen your DVD, and they want to move, guess where?
To the Ozarks.
To the Ozarks, yeah.
Right.
And they have they have made commitments to spend a week traveling throughout our area right here, the Springfield area, looking for farms to settle within the Ozarks. They are moving out of the East Coast.
That's a smart thing to do.
I'm very serious about this, and it's almost a every couple of day occurrence that I get these calls, and they're long, protracted calls because there's a lot of questions that these people have, and they are they're betting the farm, John, on what they've learned. They are betting everything they have, moving everything that they have to come here to get out of harm's way.
And unless you're a 22-year-old where everything you own could fit in a Mustang, it's pretty difficult to do such a thing.
It is. It is.
Well, but as you stated, and Vincent and I have come across these people as well, these retired naval officers that live here in the Ozarks. And I stated to you at the show, John, I was a state legislator, represented North Springfield, came across these people over the years, didn't know why they were here.
Right. Until you met me and heard my story, you didn't have a clue why you're running into all these guys.
Absolutely. Well, I mean, these guys, when they saw that map and they saw the rising ocean levels, just completely restructuring the United States of America, and they know it's going to happen in their lifetime, they're smart people. They don't want to be there when that happens. And I'm glad they're here in the Ozarks, and it makes me very comfortable.
It's a brain trust.
Yeah, knowing
men
that.
And women with that are motivated, have lots of skills, and want to do the right thing for themselves and their community.
John, let me tell you what happens with your DVD. The first thing that happens when a person watches it, and this happened in my family as well as other families that I know of, they watch the DVD and no one says a word. They just watch the DVD. Everyone is intent, highly focused on the message.
Right.
Then they take the DVD and they give it to their best friends.
Right.
And they watch it. And the same thing happens. And then they pass it on to their friends. And the reason they pass it on is because they think it's absolutely critical information. They want to make sure that their friends, their family, and their loved ones see this and can come to the same conclusion on their own.
That's right. And one of the first people that bought it in the fall of '05, when it was still a one-disc set, was an attorney in California, and he calls me up. He says, John, I've been trying to convince my wife about this stuff for several years. Until she watched your DVD, nothing would convince her. I need 5 more.
When you see that DVD, in my opinion, it is life-altering. All of my family down in Texas, and I got family down around the Gulf Coast, I want them to see your DVD. I've asked them to watch your DVD. I've asked them to listen to the radio program, come to the expo, and I think a few more of them are going to come to the expo in the fall and hear you directly, John. And we are extremely excited about you coming back.
Well, Jim, when you get these calls from the East Coast, you need to just forward them to me. I'm the consultant on these matters, so I'd be glad to talk to them.
That sounds wonderful. We will do that.
And you can spend more time putting up hay there, Vincent.
Yeah, and we have been putting up a lot of hay. John, I guess the reason people call us is because of the expo. They look at us as a focal point, and
of course.
And we are going to keep funneling those people to you, and you can take the time and educate them. And some of the people, by the way, you do know some of these people. You have met them at the expo, and you've talked to them, and then they call me too. So that's what happens.
Well, I don't doubt that for a moment, that they would be doing as many calls and getting as much information as they could. And you're right. I suggest to my clients, my consultation clients, spend a minimum of a week in any area you intend to be moving to. Going blind into a neighborhood, a county, is a massive mistake. You really need to get to know the area somewhat.
John, our audience does not know, but you're a former Green Beret. I guess once a Green Beret, always a Green Beret. You're an small arms expert, and you do some consulting in the Ozarks. Is that right?
I do. I do consultations for families and for corporations and churches on preparedness, right.
John, is there something that you can say succinctly that our class can implement immediately?
Read my article.
Okay.
It's on my website. the Gulf Stream has stopped. It's just slightly more than 3 pages. You can download it at no charge and read it. I got the link to the U.S. Navy website showing the maps with sea surface temperatures. That's real science put out by real scientists in the U.S. Navy. And convince yourself that this is real.
Would you say that we are in for a rough ride?
It will be a rough ride. There's going to be a lot of loss of life. Our world as we know it will be dramatically changed. It will not be the end of the world. It will be the end of the world that we currently know and are used to.
You predicted in 2008, I believe, August, September timeframe, that we would be experiencing earthquakes and such, and there was one in Japan.
Oh, yeah. A 600% increase in earthquakes in the last 10 years.
John Moore, thank you for joining us today. We
You're
do
welcome,
look
gentlemen.
forward
It was fun.
to
We'll do it again.
having you September 9th and 10th at the Get Prepared Expo. There's going to be a lot of new people coming to hear you, John, and we're excited about that.
It'll be fun. I'm looking forward
Thank
to
you,
it.
sir. Well, this
Thank
is
you.
USA Prepares. I'm here with Vincent Finelli. This is Mark Wright. We're going to take our quarter-hour break, 3/4-hour break here, and we'll be back with some more great information.
Hey fishermen, if you haven't been to Sportsman's Factory Outlet, listen to what you're missing. Sportsman's Factory Outlet is Springfield's best-kept secret for the avid angler. We carry a wide assortment of the best tackle for area crappie and bass anglers. We also feature bargain prices on factory returns and reconditioned products. We specialize in supplying popular as well as hard-to-find products to anglers everywhere. Come by and check out our annual spring tackle sale going on now. You can find us a quarter-mile east of the Elks Lodge at 2333 East Bennett, or visit us online at sportsmansfactoryoutlet.com.
Count on Chevy and your Chevy dealers of the Ozarks to save you money at the pump with over 9 models that get you 30 miles per gallon or better. Test drive Chevy Cruze Eco, the best highway MPG of any gas engine in America, and get 42 miles per gallon. Or drive Malibu and get over 500 miles per tank. Count on Equinox and Traverse, the best-selling crossovers in the Ozarks. You'll get 32 miles per gallon in an Equinox, and Traverse offers the best fuel economy of any 8-passenger crossover. Save big, save now on Chevy's most fuel-efficient lineup ever. See your Chevy dealers of the Ozarks today.
Don't you buy no internet piano. Why would you give hundreds, even thousands of dollars to someone that you don't know for something that you don't know the history of? That's just crazy. The professionals at PianoCraft have invested in every pre-owned piano in stock to make sure that it's a stable instrument. It will stay in tune, it will play right, and you will get the best value for the dollar, guaranteed. Don't you buy no internet piano. Shop smart from the people you know and trust. PianoCraft in the Brentwood South Center across from Battlefield Mall.
Well, a new book is out revealing the secrets of America's ruling inflatocracy. That's right, inflatocracy. That's a new word for the dictionary. And it would be defined as, number 1, a new form of government of, by, and for inflation. And number 2, a government that deliberately debases its paper currency for social engineering, mind manipulation, wealth redistribution, secret taxation, and seizing more power. Check it out at SwissAmerica.com. The Inflation Deception, newest book by Craig Smith and Lowell Ponte. Meanwhile, gold is about to have its status upgraded according to Frank Holmes of U.S. Funds. Countries such as Mexico, Russia, Thailand, they're all adding to their gold reserves. Get the full story at SwissAmerica.com.
This can be sliding.
What are today's hot?
Oh, God, you're...
Take my... When you go to DC for 2 seconds during...
Class is back in session. Turn up the volume. USAPrepares.com with the original survival economist, Vincent Finelli and Mark Wright.
And we're back on USA Prepares, the radio program. I'm Mark Wright, and who's that guy sitting across from me today?
That'd be me, Vin Finelli.
Vincent Finelli. I tell you what, Vinny, John Moore will make you sit up straight.
Like you're sitting right now.
Like I'm sitting right now, and you are intently listening to every word. That man speaks with authority.
He does. He really does. And you know, if you think about what he said, if we were going to recap that, we know that there's going to be flooding in the future. Mm-hmm. Okay, there's been flooding last few days, last few months, last few years.
Mississippi River, Missouri River, it's just unbelievable what's going on up there.
Okay, all right, so we know that. So going forward, don't you think we should place our houses above